welcome back to the Netherkast. Who are you working for? I'm Black Cyborg, joined, as always, by temporary username, Rez's Edge, and Shadaloo. I just have one question for all of you. Who are you working for? Tell me. I might need a job.
Don't you want to know where the drugs are going
What
first?
are your benefits?
It's in the Narrows, Rachel.
I actually feel more comfortable saying where the drugs are going than I do who I'm working for. I actually feel more comfortable sharing that information than I do giving out my employer.
Tell me. Tell me.
I don't feel comfortable.
So what are your qualifications? I have a bachelor's degree from Boston University.
I'll bleep it
I've got
out.
6 years field experience.
I'll bleep it out in post. Trust me.
I don't believe you.
Take my hand.
I don't want to do anything.
In a
These-
dynamic team atmosphere.
These people are ready to hear where you work.
I don't want to make this a thing. I don't want that to be an ongoing theme of where does temp work. I don't want that to be a staple.
Let us know. Write to us.
Why wasn't this a combat modifier? Everyone sounds like Bale's Batman.
That would be amazing.
Oh, dude, I love the dialogue and sped up combat. Not I don't know if it affects the intro dialogue, but like it affects like the wind poses and shit.
Yeah, it starts after the intros.
Text it to me or email. I promise I won't tell anybody. You can trust in Batman.
Oh my god, there was a time when this character was not so much of a living joke.
He's not a living joke. You're a living joke.
Why? Because I'm looking forward to Spider-Man more than I am Batman. Because he's got eyes. Look at his eyes. Those eyes can express fear.
Yeah, but those eyes are still owned by Sony.
Well, so am I, strictly speaking.
I need pictures. Pictures of spider eyes.
Oh, Christ.
All right. Batman's going to take a break. This week, we are going to talk about, in episode 44 of the Nethercast, thanks everybody for joining us. Go and leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. If you don't have iTunes, go ahead and download it for free, and then give us a 5-star review so more people can listen to us. All right, anyways. Yes, because helping is good. And we just, over the past couple of weeks, we surpassed 100,000 views on our channel, like in total, so that's cool. And we just, went over the peak of 800 subscribers. We finally tackled that. We've been sitting at like 760, 770, 780 for quite a few months. Obviously, the game not being in full on hype mode and us not really marketing ourselves and spreading the word as much as we used to during the hype up to MKX. It's to be expected that, our growth will, kind of die down quite a bit in comparison. But, we finally broke the 800 mark, so congrats to us. I'm quite happy with that. And anyways, we have some Combat Pack 2, MKXL, whatever you want to call it. We have that to discuss. And so let's jump right into it. Let's just rub our bat nipples with pleasure. Milk.
No.
Hard. Anyways, let's start off. Let's go character by character, because there's going to be some characters I'm sure we discuss more than others. But let's go right into Alien. What do we think about Alien? I think he's okay, and I don't really have much. I do want to point out one fun thing about Alien. I'm sure most people have heard about it by now or seen it. When you do the little alien baby brutality, the face hugger on Jason, when the little alien pops out of his stomach, it has a Jason hockey mask on it, so it looks a little cute. It's just a goo-to-goo and a goo-to-goo and a pudding pop.
And when you do it to Predator, it actually forms a Pred Alien.
Yes.
I like it a lot, actually. I think it's really cool. It reminds me a lot of the Spaceballs sketch.
It's a nice touch. It's all about the
Hello, my
details.
darling.
Yeah.
Hello, my ragtime gal.
Hello, my honey. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime gal.
It's hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Can't you do it right?
It's hello, my honey.
Oh, it's hello, my honey. Hello, my baby. You said hello, my honey. Hello, my darling. You fucked up, son.
Yeah, well, why don't you just go clip your own fuck you?
All right, I will right now.
Do it!
Those insult dash cancels.
Dare you! You're tearing me apart!
Fuck you to end all fuck yous right here.
I mean, Cyborg brings up a good point. You can basically dash cancel any insult into fuck you. I think that's worth noting.
I did.
He's demonstrating his strats.
Sorry, I just want those old ragtime tunes to be done justice, that's all.
Whose phone just dinged? I want
Not I.
names.
Yeah, that was me. That was totally me. I'm not even gonna hide.
Rat each other out! You know!
Welcome to the extremely fucked up episode of the Netherkast.
Were we gonna do an episode this week? Is that what's...
We're talking about Alien. What are you
Are we
guys
even
not
recording
understand?
right now?
We're not recording, of
I
course
was
not.
wondering.
Nobody's gonna listen to this. Seriously though, give us 5 stars on iTunes. I dare you. I dare you to
We
do
used
it.
to have our shit together, I swear to God.
I double dog dare you to give us 5 stars. Do it. I challenge you.
You picked like the hardest DLC character to comment
You won't
about.
do
You
it.
picked the one character
Okay.
none of us has spent.
Okay, so does anybody really have any comments on Alien, or can we move on?
Once I watched the ending for Alien, I was obviously never gonna buy him, but I watched his ending on YouTube, and I was looking at it, and there's like an alien version
Spoilers.
of Ferritor in there, and I found that really funny and kind of cool. And there's an alien Shokan in there,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Although when I saw the alien Ferritor for a second, I was like, "Is that a centaur?" And then it wasn't, and I was sad.
Still, though, a lot more diversity in the species than the Tarkatans have.
That's true.
I was kind of disappointed there was no rhino alien. I was kind of hoping there was a bit, not even a little though. That's a shame.
Imagine what an alien made from what a Devora's race would look like. The shit attempts nightmares.
Oh man, like little small, like inch-wide aliens flying out. Oh no.
Or like Ace Ventura crawling out of a rhino's ass alien.
Yeah, that works for me.
Like, I want the whole thing. I want it all to be one solid alien.
Are those common in Outworld?
Daddy,
don't
what's that? All right. Well, any more thoughts on Alien?
I played Aliens Tower, so I got to try out all 3 variations.
Right.
I found Conjurer the most fun.
I couldn't even tell you what one is what, except for the Baraka one.
Conjurer is the one that calls in the striker and lays the eggs.
Ah, yeah, that one's probably the most alien of aliens.
Yeah.
Xenomorph. I'm
acid is-
pushing my boobs together. Pushing them together. I don't know why I'm doing this. Someone,
Alright.
please. Somebody, stop me.
Well, we're gonna-
Smoke it. See, now we're just doing Ace Ventura. Like, not Ace Ventura, but
Yeah,
Jim
we're doing
Carrey.
like a Jim Carrey thing now.
Better.
I can't lie.
Liar, liar.
Do you want to film a
Is that where your eyes?
here?
Is that where your eyes pop out and then your fucking tongue rolls out onto the table?
Well, The Mask was always my favorite Carrey movie, personally.
It's good stuff. I'm partial to Ace Ventura, but yes, they're all
Okay.
good. They're all good. He made a lot of good stuff in the 80s and 90s.
I like Liar Liar.
Fuck off. No, I'm just kidding.
What
What are
it was
you?
actually not that bad.
What are
That
you-
movie actually aged rather well.
No, it is good. What are you doing? I'm kicking my ass. He's just beating his own ass in the bathroom. Oh, good stuff.
Pen is...
Oh man, I hope people are enjoying the Jim Carrey podcast because I am. Every episode should have some Jim
breaking
Carrey.
the law, asshole.
Yes Man was actually pretty good for his most,
Yeah, I liked Yes Man.
a more recent movie. It was more classic Jim Carrey.
It's similar to Liar Liar.
Yeah.
It's also got Zooey Deschanel in it, and she's cute.
Okay, so that pretty much covers Alien.
I guess.
Alien's segment was hijacked by Jim Carrey, and it seemed appropriately so.
Let's just go right into Leatherface and keep on dicking around.
Okay, Leatherface. I will say one thing about Leatherface. His gameplay looks like a lot of fun. He's incredibly scary to go up against, especially if the person knows what they're doing. Like, I had no idea going into a match with during our stream with some crazy guy during his Pretty Lady one where I was playing Katana and he purposely
Yeah,
chose
the
Pretty
fucking
Lady just to
projectile.
like crazy. And yeah, he's throwing chainsaws from the air downwards down on the ground, and he's throwing one mid, and it's like, holy shit, this guy has more ranging or zoning versatility than I do as Katana. I felt weird. It was really strange. I did not see that coming. But he looks like a lot of fun to play as, and he looks like, I mean, he's a lot of poop your pants when you face him, but so they did that character well. I mean, I'm not saying I would prefer him over other characters that could have been in the game, not by a long shot, but since he is in the game, I just have to comment on how he actually is, and he looks to be a lot of fun.
I'm gonna follow that up. I actually strongly agree. Scary is the right word. Like when he's charging at you, it's intense. Like it really is a very fun match to play against. And yeah, he's a lot of fun. I like him a lot, actually. Believe it or not. Yeah. What's up, Razor?
I thought it was a little broken. Like he seems to be able, like he has the ability when he's charging to armor through stuff like Ferritor, and like I sort of felt like I couldn't get a hit in. Like there was nowhere to go if once a competent person like Redman was doing the Leatherface thing.
There's a lot of waiting. You have to wait your turn. He is at disadvantage for a lot of stuff, but you have to block a lot of sequences up to that point. And
I just need to learn the matchup and figure out the highs and lows to block.
I just feel like they captured the character really well. I think Pretty Lady is a little random. He throws full screen chainsaws. That's just so random to me. It's like making a zoning variation for Alien. He just throws Bill Paxton. It's so fucking random to me. But it kind of works though. It looks cool. As random as over the top as it is, it does kind of work. And it feels like Leatherface. I feel like I'm fighting Leatherface. I never fought against Jason.
Yeah,
If Alien was throwing Bill Paxton's, that'd be the character of the game. Like,
Yeah, that would be Ice Clone times a billion. Yes, I agree.
I thought they did Jason well, but yeah, I don't feel the fear when I face Jason as I do with Leatherface, and that's a big proponent because I mean he is a horror icon, so he should be just as scary to go up against. Like I like a lot of what Jason has, but I think they really nailed Leatherface as good as they were going to. Whereas Jason, I'd give him like a B plus, a B, something like that. He could have been better. Whereas Leatherface, for what he is and living up to what Leatherface could be, I feel it's an A plus in terms of his design and gameplay, etc. But yes.
Yeah, everyone knows I love the win pose. That's common knowledge at this point.
Everyone knows it. I bet Ed Boon knows it.
I hope Ed Boon knows it.
If he doesn't, he better. God!
Is that 23, or are we still doing Jim Carrey stuff? Or I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
I think the guy just had an aneurysm.
He may have Jim
If you're on the floor twitching right now, make a noise.
I now have a voice box. Fuck.
Were you stationed in Da Nang? And it's coming right for us.
Man, bear, pig, son of a bitch. Jimbo. Anyways, yes, he's a lot of fun. Any other thoughts on Leatherface's face?
Well, it seems like you were the most down on Leatherface, Shadaloo. Has anything changed at all? Have you sort of come around?
Basically, we're trying to, if you look past his inclusion, because I'm pretty sure we all are in agreement we'd much rather have about 50 other characters, and that's being, that's lowballing it, that's being generous. But now that we actually have him, and there's nothing we can do about it, how do you feel about his actual, how they portrayed the character?
Listen.
Oh, God. Oh, boy. Let me put my big boy pants on. Hold on. Okay.
Well?
Shit everywhere. I just shat everywhere. You scared me.
Can you hear them?
What?
Can you hear them?
Yeah, there's somebody in the background talking.
No.
I think that's on Temps End, though.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. My
just
roommates
kidding.
are having a conversation.
They're so faint, it's okay.
That's not even what I'm talking about. Can you hear them?
I want Temp to unmute his mic. I'm calling you out.
It's unmuted. It's totally unmuted.
Damn Leatherface fans.
These
Are the days?
are the fucks I'm giving.
I knew it. I was going to say it, but I didn't want to be wrong. But I had a feeling that's where you were going.
I'm sorry, I don't give a shit.
That's
Maybe-
fair.
Maybe they executed him very well, and from what everyone's saying, they probably did. I've seen the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie and the kind of unremarkable one from, 2003 or so? I don't remember that thing.
You talking
I
about
remember that I've seen it.
the remake?
Yeah. The Texas Chainsaw. Was it 2003 that they remade that movie?
Yeah, it was 2003 they made the remake of it, or the
It
reboot.
was. I saw it in theaters in high school, so it had
was-
to have been around that.
Yeah,
age.
it
Something
was like
like
a
that.
reboot of it, yeah. It's
And just even at that time, I remember enjoying the original much, much, much more. I'm not that crazy about the character. I just always I felt he's more of a horror icon for the sake of his appearance, the fact that he wields a chainsaw more than anything else. I just don't find him particularly memorable. I never have, and all of his fight styles seem very samey to me. You know,
Take that, Smoke Man!
I've had this discussion with him, and he's free to disagree with me, and everyone is, and I can't give any fucks. 3 different ways to fuck around with a chainsaw. Meanwhile, you got guys like Kung Jin messing around with a chakra, a bow and an arrow, and a big old honking staff that can hit you in the middle of the air, then bounce you back up and down, and then carry you across the street and get you into a corner where you'll be pelted with that goddamn bow over and over again. Holy fuck, do I ever hate Kung Jin? But anyway, no, Leatherface is born.
Yeah, he's annoying. Not fun at all. Still really good,
I'm
too.
just-
He has a little hammer.
I'm just saying. I'm bored. I'm bored looking at him. So enjoy. I won't. I can't.
Pretty lady.
I
give him
really
multiple
like the
outfits to
hammer
differentiate his appearances, because without that, he'd look dirty.
I feel like
I mean,
we're part of some kind of social experiment. Cyborg wants to test how long it takes before he can blow out his mic and see if we notice that's what he's doing.
You don't even know.
Did you get your prescription filled, dude?
Shut
It's
the
been a long time
fuck
since
up.
he filmed
Shut
the
up!
shit show.
You
It's-
don't even know. You don't even know me.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't actually somewhat concerned right now.
I don't think any of this is being recorded.
Oh god.
There's no recording console, is there? There's no program.
No, this is all imaginary. I made it up. I made it up. I made it up. It's all fake. You fell for it. What an idiot.
Does not explain the YouTube uploads, but okay.
18 minutes in, and you just fucking thought I was recording. The truth is, I never fixed the problem. Woo! I was just gonna fake all our voices when I found a new program.
I would still listen to that, actually.
Do it. And
Tune
also,
in.
while you're at it, give us a 5-star rating on iTunes.
Who are you talking to?
You, the listener. Now listen.
Now?
Alright, are we done with Leatherface?
I think we are.
Kind of want to hear Cyborg fake all our voices. That sounds amazing.
I kind of want to. I'm Temp. I'm trying to take Cyborg to tucking the doo-can-doo in the poop.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
That's
6
not
out
what
of
I
10.
expected.
Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
that's about
Here's the
right.
real
I thought
one.
that was actually him.
Here's the here's the real one. Here's the real one. Sup?
That's it. I don't know. You need more baritone. You need more oomph.
So you hear about Tom Brady and stuff? And then here's Django. DC is whitewashed.
He sounds like a grandmother, but
And
it's still
then- And then here's Shadaloo. I'm Canadian.
Wow.
I should have got the
Pretty good.
should have got the fingernail clippers before that.
Spot on.
And then here's
How did he know?
Razor. Here's Razor. Oh damn it! I like how it sounded like everybody muted their mics, like in anticipation. Like all of a sudden, all the white noise just went completely gone from this fucking thing.
Just sitting and waiting for it. Apparently,
I know, but
silence.
I've never heard that much silence. Like there was no white noise whatsoever. Okay.
Still have to do Razor. Like, you're not out of that by any
No.
means.
Here it goes. Here it goes.
Here, let me hear it.
You've got nothing.
That was me. That was me right there. What'd you
Wow.
think?
I thought mine was amazing.
I nailed him spot on. Okay, here it really is though. Look at me. I'm Razor. I like professional wrestling because I'm a big dumbhead.
John Cena! Oh, we've lost so
All
many
right,
subscribers.
and here's my own impression of me. Shut the fuck up, Shadaloo!
That's
It's accurate.
probably Emmy Award winning.
It's probably my worst one out of the bunch, honestly.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know.
I like that I talk about Tom Brady and stuff. You really nailed that part. That was good. That was really good.
Oh, you guys are something else. You guys. The wonderful
Well,
thing about Tigger.
okay.
Okay, are we? Yeah, let's do Bo Rai Cho next, because obviously Triborg is probably the main event. I'll put an echo in post.
Are you ready?
Don't say ready
Thanks
to
for that.
don't say ready to you know what, because that is copyrighted. It's trademarked.
John Cena. Sorry.
Yeah, these nuts. Okay, are we good? Is everybody cool? I think we just
so.
had a power outage right there. Are we good? We're back. Cloverfield. Okay.
Oh God, no.
Hey, don't hate on Cloverfield. It's a good movie.
Ah, I feel like pieces of shit. Sure. Okay.
Wow! All right, and I'm walking around the room now. Okay, here we go. Listen to my voice leave. Go fuck yourself.
Do. Everyone has bad taste but me.
Oh, yep, it's quite amazing. Live in your own little world up there in Canada.
Yeah.
Cloverfield was kind of a mixed bag. I like the idea that you can actually suspend belief in a monster movie. Like, that's something that hasn't really been done well in the past, but I hate the monster design. And for all the hype and the posters and the silhouette over the city, like,
Yeah,
it looked really bad.
Okay.
When I think back to Cloverfield, I remember I like the hype a lot more than I like the movie.
All
It
right.
was like someone slapped 2 pieces of cauliflower onto an anorexic anteater and called it a day.
Yeah, where'd you steal that from? You didn't come up with that.
No, that was mine.
No, tell us the truth. I want the damn truth. And nothing but the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Copyright Shadaloo 2016.
I want the truth.
That was the wrong Batman actor.
Tell me what you really thought about Cloverfield. You liked it.
I thought it was a piss poor hodgepodge of Blair Witch Project cinematics
I thought it-
and garbage. Oh no, I can't.
Why, oh, we got a Wes guy here. Ooh. Okay, all right.
All right, Joe, let's do it.
Bo Rai Cho. Thoughts on Bo Rai Cho? Not much has changed. His gameplay is his gameplay. The things I like about him remain the same. The things I don't like about him remain the same. And yeah, nothing like seeing him in game, or like playing him in game, I should say, because we already had commented on how we, our initial impressions on him. But seeing him in game, nothing really changed for me. Gameplay looks good, except for the things I don't like. So there.
I find it really bizarre that, when they
bizarre?
took characters from previous games and brought them back in this generation. Like, Kenshi got some new shit. Smoke got a complete move overhaul. Rain got a graphic redesign. Bo Rai Cho is just Bo Rai Cho, straight out of Deadly Alliance.
Straight out of Deadly Alliance.
And there's
not
an
true.
argument to be made that of the 3D era characters, he could have used a redesign because Not everybody's really into all the toilet humor shit.
That should have been my impression of you.
They did give him a fart.
After you cough, your voice slowly dies. Like it's hanging on by like a thread. It's so sad. I just feel so bad for you.
Not to just cough for 15 minutes straight.
No, I know, but it's just like I just want to wrap you up in a blanket and just tell you everything's gonna be all right. Make the
I agree with what
burrito.
Razor said. That's all true. I still like it though. He still looks like a lot of fun. I have not purchased anyone but Triborg, but I played a lot of Rai Cho online because Redman uses him quite a bit. So I think he's really cool. I think he's got great options. I don't know how good he is. Supposedly, a lot of his stuff hits high and a lot of it is interruptible, but no one's gonna do that shit in tournament. No one's gonna interrupt any in tournament.
Nah, man.
He's gonna be fine, I think.
That ain't him.
I will say, like, I really like the way his actual drunken boxing, like his normals are animated. I think they nailed that part.
It's amazing.
You
It
did
looks
so very
really
well.
good.
It's awful.
This is because I dissed on Cloverfield, isn't it?
Exactly.
Thought so.
Glad
You're
we're
gonna
on
be
the
paying
same
for that
page.
one for quite some time.
Nah, you know what? As far as terms of redesign goes, yeah, sure, you still got the toilet humor, and they gave him a big old stinky fart, but pretty much Bartetsu is the way I kind of always wanted to see him. There was a bit too much in here, and
I feel like if it weren't for the fact that this game has variations, so they've got to come up with 3 movesets for him, if he only had one, the way I always imagined him is what Dragon Breath does.
You know what's interesting? It's the opposite for me. I would have said, how do you pronounce it? Bartsu? How do you say it?
Bartetsu.
it's Bartetsu.
Bartitsu. Bartitsu to me is actually vintage Rai Cho because it's like they took the staff infinite and made a character out of it. That's why it feels so Rai Cho to me.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. It's just that Rai Cho's cane was always, to me, symptomatic of the everybody has to have a weapon era. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
necessarily think any of those weapons were iconic to the characters that had them.
That's fair.
I mean, if I was going to give him a weapon, a cane is a good choice. I always thought, like, if you're going to get rid of the puking and the farting and give him some kind of projectile, the thing that makes the most sense is to take a drink and then breathe fire.
Yeah, no, I would mostly
fair.
agree with that. Yeah, it's good to have an alternative. If you don't want to do all the toilet shit, it's kind of well, it's still there to be honest. It's not all variations. You can't
Yeah, I
really
mean-
get around it.
That would be my one complaint. I would have maybe quarantined all of the puking and farting to just Drunken Master.
In the next game, I hope that's the angle they take. I don't hear the farting in footsies. I'm told he does it. I have not heard it yet.
See, the fact that you even have to say that in a podcast about a game, I don't like that. I don't hear the farting during the footsies, but I could be just focusing on the footsies and not so much the farting.
Yeah, I mean, if it's there, it doesn't bother me. I kind of tune it out, to be honest with you.
Tune
For
out
me-
those farts.
What bothers me about it is I feel like Rai Cho is 2 different characters at the same time. Like, if you look at the archetype of, like, the wise master who pretends to be a fool, like Yoda when Luke first meets him in Empire, they always drop the act to start teaching. Rai Cho is not an act. He actually is a sloppy fool. He just also happens to be a wise master, and that doesn't make sense to me.
Maybe wise isn't the right word. Morally sound might be a better.
I guess.
Representation.
It's hard to take this guy seriously as the dude who trained Liu Kang.
If you spend a couple of hundred years kind of being forced out of tournaments where you really want to overthrow the tyranny of your home realm, maybe you might take up alcoholism too.
Well, I have no problem with him having alcoholism as a character flaw. It's just the way that expresses itself as special moves.
That said, though, I think his intro dialogues are stellar. They're
Yeah,
really.
Oh
love
god,
it.
they're the absolute best.
They're beyond stellar. They're interstellar.
Jinx?
I like that movie better than The Martian, by the way. I saw The Martian over the weekend.
I don't really care for either of them.
I-
but-
Oh, fuck off!
think
Interstellar is one of the
Martian.
best movies.
I don't really
It's
like
alright.
Nolan beyond The Dark Knight. I
Oh
think
my
he's
gosh.
pretentious as fuck.
He makes gold. He makes gold. He's not made a bad movie yet. The
Well, you're
only
both
thing-
right. It's pretentious gold. It's good, but it is
It's very
pretentious.
pretentious gold.
I'll sniff the ass of that pretentious gold. I'll
I
fucking
love
do all
Memento.
things to it.
I think
The
Memento's
Prestige
really
is
good.
alright.
I've never seen that, believe it or not.
Prestige is amazing. Inception is amazing.
Inception's good. I agree.
Memento is really good.
Has anyone seen Insomnia? Anybody? I've never.
That's the only one of his I haven't seen.
That's the only one no one has seen Insomnia.
Well, it was the one before, like he really made it big. Yeah.
I've just been watching Venture Brothers. I don't go to the movies all that often.
That's not a bad method. I mean, Venture Brothers is good.
I like Venture Brothers.
It's an amazing show.
Are you talking about Venture Brothers or Adventure Brothers?
No,
Venture.
The Venture Brothers, the cartoon on Adult Swim.
Yeah, we're on
you should
two
watch that.
two totally different wavelengths here.
I know. I know.
I need you to come down to my wavelength. I'm gonna meet
I-
you about. I'll meet you
You're-
20.
you're-
You go 80.
You're at a 10 and I need you at about a 7. So are we done with Bo Rai Cho?
No, I want to talk a little bit about character references. A lot of not maybe name drops literally, but Chameleon is referenced. Lee May is
Yes.
referenced. Noob Saibot is referenced. A lot of
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah, the Noob Saibot reference bears a little bit of talking about.
Absolutely.
What is-
Between okay, when I think it's Sub and Bo Rai Cho start talking. Sub says something to the effect of, "You know the whereabouts of my brother," and Bo says he is better left unfound, or something to that effect. Or
No,
he should
that's
remain
right.
Unfound.
I think they're playing a game of hide and go seek.
Well, I think it's
There's-
reversed. I think Bo Rai Cho starts and says, "I know of your brother's whereabouts."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Tell me." And he says, "What do you know?" And Bo Rai Cho responds, "Only that he must never be found." So yeah, that's the gist of it.
That's
There's
weird.
kind of there's another bit of dialogue there that makes me wonder how the hell exactly does that Bo knows this. Because y'all know that Shinnok slapped Bo around a little bit in story mode, if I remember right.
Yeah, there's a couple different character interactions where people say, I thought Shinnok killed you, or
Yeah.
Shinnok himself says, I thought I killed you, and Bo Rai Cho is sort of coy about it, like, maybe I did die.
Yeah, so that's
What
what I'm
does that
thinking.
mean?
It's like, it's possible. I don't know. Maybe like he just had an out of body experience, saw what was going on. Maybe he knows where Noob is right now. So
Are-
that's something to look forward to for the near future. They've been dropping a lot of stuff in there.
Raiden has one where he says, "I thought you were dead," and Bo Rai Cho was, well, now I'm back, and Raiden says, "But are you unchanged?" And then fight, of course. So yeah, there's a lot of still. Cassie Cage kind of implies that Bo Rai Cho is boning Lee May, and I don't know how comfortable I am with that, but at least it's a character
Well,
reference.
That
I'll
made
take
me laugh.
Oh,
I
Bo
laughed.
Rai
She's much
Cho.
older now.
She
She's much more
like
close to
she
him
like-
physically.
tubby penis.
Because, I mean, if that was deception, that would be
Right.
gross as fuck, but...
I like fart on face. She into Brazilian fart porn.
I can see all these things. These aren't totally
possible.
contradictory to the characters, I guess.
possible.
But
Anything about
Johnny Cage,
Cyrax?
too.
Anything about Cyrax at all?
He's the only
wanna talk
variation I
about
haven't
them?
played yet.
No, I mean like actual Cyrax. No, I'm talking about
Like,
like
talking about Triborg at all? Just Cyrax?
no, like info. Well, I'm saying like, was there any intro dialogues about Cyrax at all?
I
No.
don't think so.
Info, nothing like added.
Amazingly, Triborg referenced neither the whereabouts of like Cyrax or Smoke's body or
Yeah,
any of
it's
that.
actually like impressive in a frustrating way that they managed to make an entire character about the cyborgs who never ever mentions the cyborgs. Except
yeah,
himself.
it's really weird. It's. I mean, there's
Yes.
stuff I didn't know yet. All I know is the ending threw me off because I saw the ending before I saw the bio. So I thought they were really hand-reading the fact that this is not Cyrax, Sector, and Smoke. But then I read the bio, and it turns out it really is Cyrax, Sector, and Smoke. Basically, their consciousnesses were all
it's
merged
like
in a database and put into a character. So technically, it is the imitative consciousness of all three. So
well, here's the
that
weird
threw me
thing
for a
about
loop.
that. Okay, so you have the minds of technically 4 Lin Kuei members: Sector, Cyrax, Smoke, and Kuai Liang. And you combine their minds into a single consciousness. How come when 3 of those 4 guys didn't want to be robots, Triborg loves being a robot and talks in a
Thank
second
you.
voice?
Thank you.
I also have another question. So it's their consciousness, but it was only a copy of them. It's not like
Yeah, it's a copy.
it's not really Cyrax's conscious stuck in the
that's,
sky.
That's how they explain him having Smoke in there too, even though Smoke was never a robot in his
Right,
time.
right. It's just merely
the replay just has brain scans of every member.
Right. Okay. So that makes sense. So still no update on Cyrax.
But no, it's bullshit. He doesn't have the personalities of them combined. He's just Sector.
By Triborg's logic,
I'm gonna.
three good guys and a bad guy equal a bad guy. So I don't get
He
it.
talks and acts exactly like Sector. The others have no input at all.
I'm just gonna say, mumble subroutines based on hierarchy. Mumble sector, where the others as like slave subroutines. Okay, there's the explanation, and that's as good as it's ever gonna fucking get. And yes, I agree, it's very stupid.
And none of this backstory, bio or ending, explains how come sometimes more bodies show up to double team with him.
Yeah, that is true. None of that.
Nanomachines, son.
I prefer to assume Triborg isn't even canon. His bio, ending, and intros don't count. He literally is Sector, Cyrax, and Smoke fighting as a team. That's my headcanon.
I aspire to your headcanon, but I have to take it as stupid as it is and write it down in my chronologist somewhere. But
Triborg's never going to be in another game because they're going to bring. If you bring back Sector, you can't have Triborg in the same game Sector's in.
Oh,
if you bring back Cyrax, you can't have Triborg in the same game Cyrax is in. It doesn't work. He only works if he's the only robot in a game.
Or they can just give him his own moves in the future.
But then he's not Triborg anymore. He's New Borg.
He's Chameleon Borg.
He's just Borg. He's just
Borg.
He's just Cyborg.
That's
if
true.
He's not the guy who stole moves. You gotta rename him.
Hey, remember, Smoke was once the guy who stole moves too. Anything's
but at
possible.
least he was named Smoke and not like Sub-Scorpion.
And also, Smoke is cool.
Scorp-Zero.
Triborg is not cool. Triborg is basically Fred Durst if he was a robot, and I don't think anyone wanted that. Well, no,
Wow.
across that, everyone clearly wanted that. It is stupid how much people love this character, but I think they're looking at a very superficial level.
They wanted, not because of
I'm
itself.
just picturing a fucking cybernetic
Yep.
Fred Durst. And for whatever
I
reason,
agree.
it's like a Commodore 64 that can only say the word computer and has a backwards cap on.
Yeah, you beat me to it. I was going to say that with the backwards cap, that is accurate.
Yeah, I agree with Razor, though. They only love him because it's the closest thing they have to Cyrax, Sector, and Smoke and Cybersub.
Well, let's actually see what they do with the Tekkanen if he forms a Tekkanen in the future. And hey, speaking of dumb shit that doesn't make any sense, did you look in the background of Triborg's ending? Do you know who's back there?
One?
I saw
There
Quan
was a black one back there.
Black Cyborg, what's up? Making my game debut. Gonna get those balls all up in all y'all faces. Yeah, I don't know
I was
why I
going
did
to say
that.
there was a black noob cyber thing back there, but
Oh, I didn't see that. I definitely
I'm
didn't see that.
pretty damn sure there's a cyber noob back there, which makes no fucking sense.
I don't think
but
that means
anyway.
anything. They just let's use all the colors because there was a green one too.
It's me. It was me, Austin. It was me all along.
Ah.
I'm the one who likes wrestling.
I know, that's the joke part of it.
Actually, I've been saying it for a long time. Lin Kuei's staff meeting just kind of looked like a big old fucking bowl of Lucky Charms. They're just magically delicious.
Ah, you're after me, Lucky Charms.
I do have a question for everyone.
I will answer it. Only me, though.
Everyone here, everyone's favorite character at one point was a cyborg or is currently a cyborg.
Yes.
So is anyone changing their mains now that they've played this character?
No. I don't feel like I have the time or motivation to
I've
actually
changed
buy
my
the character
second.
and do it.
Well, I'm definitely looking at Sector as a possible second. I don't know if I'm leaving Melina alone.
Yeah, I don't think I'll ever be as good with Sector as I am with Liu Kang. So in terms of my main being the guy I pick when I absolutely want to win, it's gonna still be Liu. But my second is Sector now.
So that's 2 no's and a maybe. I am also in the no category. I'm not changing over to Triborg. It was a strong possibility, even knowing everything about how it's not really Smoke.
Boo!
The character's kind of a whatever chameleon robot thing.
You stink!
I was willing.
Yeah.
I was really willing, but Smoke just has to work so hard for the love. He really does.
He's a lot. He's a lot of effort and really needs those EX bars for powered up moves, and the juggles are a bitch, and the fucking back forward shit during his combos messes me right the fuck up. I don't know. Maybe you could just give him more times, but he's
He feels really awkward. I'll definitely say that. He doesn't feel nearly as good as a lot of other characters.
He's not high reward. At least not when you have Cyber Sub, who I don't have the technical execution necessary at this point to do all those combos I'm seeing on YouTube and shit, but I know Cyber Sub is free damage. Look at that shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can play him safely and get 40% damage, but it's not always. A lot of characters in this game just don't have to play footsies, so you're not going to land a lot of forward 4-3s. You're just maybe not at this level of the game. I think I was ready to put in the work. The thing is, I was ready to grind out this character, but everything interesting about MK9 Smoke is gone. They turned him into this very vanilla Vortex character, which is not fun. He doesn't have the footsie game he used to. He doesn't have the mid-range strengths. They're all gone. Smoke Bomb is not... You cannot anti-zone with Smoke Bomb.
It's not viable.
No. Oh, there is a twist. The only really interesting thing about Smoke is that you can use his forward 2 and obscure yourself in smoke, and that way your opponent can't react to what you're doing. So if you're doing a Smoke Bomb, which is safe on block, they have to make a hard read. That is cool. That is really interesting. But unless you're getting jump-ins, you're not going to land a lot of forward 2-1s. And you're right, it isn't viable outside of that context. Maybe on a very good guess, you could do the short-range Smoke Bomb when someone is trying to charge you, but that's assuming they're not going to do a mid-range jump. They're not going to do, a long-range normal. They're not going to bait it out. I mean, I think the character's fine. People are saying he's shit. I don't think... Well, they're saying he's not that good. I think as a character, he's perfectly viable, but I don't want to do this boring Vortex game. I want to play footsies. I want to play sort of a long-range sort of... I want to have good spacing options, and you have to do the Vortex. And to me, it's a good Vortex. I mean, the Vortex is pretty cool. I think it's a well-designed Vortex, but...
It's nice.
That's not what I loved playing Smoke for in MK9.
Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but the recording stopped 10 minutes ago, so can you repeat all of that?
Oh, I would love to. I love talking about how I'm not wild about Smoke, unfortunately. I wish I was. I really did want to switch mains. I love Smoke, I never really intended to main Sub-Zero, but I'm sticking with him, and I think Cryomancer's a lot of fun. I think it's a great fit. So, yeah, just...
Your Cryomancer scares me a little bit, man.
It makes me sad. But I enjoy watching it happen to other people. But I enjoy that a lot, actually.
I measure my success against your Cryomancer as to whether or not I've actually gotten an X-ray off by the middle of round 2. If it hasn't by that point, I'm not winning the match, probably.
Well, you didn't do that bad. With Melina, it was, I think 3-6 was the final score until you went to Kano.
Something like that, yeah.
So yeah, you played fairly well.
Kano was just fucking around. I was...
Oh yeah. With Kano's a fun character too, but I think Redman's the only one out of the whole Nethercast group that's really put a lot of work into Kano and has really kind of brought him up to speed. But Kano actually looks a lot of fun in this game. I really started to like what they did with him back in a few months back when I was messing with the game again.
I like it in knife pressure. That's about it.
I do too.
Kano a chance if there weren't so many others.
Yeah, it's but
this is... I mean, we've complained about the roster so much, but I find a lot of characters I actually like on it.
Well, that's why I'm not too bent about things like Leatherface, because I was afraid that if any of my favorite characters from the 3D era made it into the Combat Pack 2, that would have just destroyed any of their chances for MK11, for them having any sort of story relevance. So, in a way, I was happy Lee May wasn't in there.
I would rather see Fujin and Serena get their big time to shine in a game with where they, have more story mode screen time.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree with that, with Cyrax and everything. If I could have him on a starting roster versus DLC Combat Pack 2, I'd take starting roster all day. Like, at this point, even if it was Cyrax, at this point, I don't know if I'd really even give him a try. It's kind of got to be there from day one.
Yeah, it's just we've put too much time into the characters that we already main, and we're not like Redman who can learn everybody.
Yeah, I mean,
I was that person when MK3 was out and it was new and fresh and shiny. I can still play everybody in MK3, but these days, God, no, I don't have the patience or time for that.
Yeah, time is a problem with the. I mean, especially when you're switching styles. When you go from like Cryomancer to like fucking nimble reptile, it is a hell of a jump, and you gotta completely rewire your brain for that. And it's not always the easiest thing, you know. But I guess that's what frustrates me about Triborg. I was ready to grind out for hours in training mode against the AI and all that stuff, get my execution down, get my anti-airs down, and they just didn't make them very interesting, unfortunately.
For you.
Well,
For me.
I still like Sector.
Sector is
do
by
I.
far the most interesting of the three, in my opinion. Sector is really cool. I love what they did with him.
For you. All right. Yeah, Sector is pretty interesting from what I've seen. Django is the only cyber sub that I've seen, so that.
Oh, I forgot about him, like, completely.
Yeah.
Cyrax is a lot of fun, too, though. I was messing around with Cyrax for the first time earlier today. Just putzed about with him in training for about 20 minutes. And his juggle combos are much less intimidating than they were in MK9. There seems to be a bit of an easier learning curve to them, as far as I can tell.
I would agree. Cyrax is by far the most swag of the three. Like, Cyrax is really cool in this game. Like, he's the opposite of Smoke. He is super interesting, which is weird because they share almost all the same moves and chain combos, but I really like what they did with Cyrax in terms of his juggle possibilities and whatnot.
20-hit combo with a throw in it. You can't not love that.
Speaking of which, like, they should have given him different throws and stuff. I mean, a little bit more. I mean, I know they got all unique specials, but would it kill them to go the extra little, the extra mile to give them unique throws? And
I absolutely agree with that. I could
That
not
would be
agree
very
more.
cool.
I mean, it's not like that little extra effort would have really solidified that these are completely separate feeling characters of what they're trying to capture. So I don't know.
Well, I know why they did it. They
I
did
mean-
it because of the brutality. That's why.
Yeah. They could have
That's
made
fair.
the ending of the throw the same, like always end on an uppercut.
Yeah.
I
Well-
do picture a world where, like, Smoke's air throw is his normal throw, like, animation, though. That would be really nice looking.
So, you wanted to talk about patch notes, right?
Yeah, I kind of had a rant. I'm still. I mean, this is going to be no surprise to anyone who watched the live stream. Really don't know why Unbreakable didn't get anything. Like, I was really disappointed that Ninjutsu Scorpion, who's arguably a top 12 character, got buffs, but they gave fucking EX Slide into Freeze with armor leads to, like, what, a 25% combo? It's the same pattern. Every time they try to make this stupid character better, you're like, but you have to spend meter. That's always the fine print on all his buffs, and it drives me mad. I mean, they gave him his ground pound as a buff, a move he should have had from day one. That's a buff, giving him, like, it's like giving Sub-Zero his ice ball back and calling it a buff. That's not, I don't know, but it frustrates me because, I mean, to be honest with you, he's not a bad character. He's probably low tier. I can't think of anyone worse than him off the top of my head, but I think he is tournament viable. I honestly do believe that. But for him to be tournament viable, you have to play him like a shitty Grandmaster. If you do any of the things that make the character fun or interesting, you will get bodied. You will get bodied like the watermelon underneath Gallagher's hammer. That's how bad you're going to get bodied. And thank you. I'm glad someone got that reference.
We all got it. I think we were just hoping that you didn't say it.
Well, I did. It's forever now. But I love the ideas of Unbreakable, but they're just never going to come to life because to do any of his cool shit, I said to be spending meter all day, and the meter comes with no guarantees. None. So it doesn't make sense to me. You give me this damage reduction with meter, I spend the meter to get it, and it doesn't even come into play unless you hit me. I have to fuck up to even reap the benefits. It doesn't make any sense. So I made a list, and these are the changes I would have made to Unbreakable. You guys interested?
Do it.
Yeah, I'd actually like to hear this.
That sounds cool.
Okay, this is buff number 1. Airborne opponents will no longer be impervious to Ice Shield's hitbox. So, in layman terms, if you jump at my Ice Shield with a kick, you will take damage and you will not get a free combo, or a free setup, or a free knockdown.
Seems fair.
Yeah, it just visually, it seems more intuitive. if you hit a magical ice shield with your foot, I imagine it's supposed to hurt. Or at the very least, it's supposed to protect Sub-Zero, right? I mean, that makes sense in this world, or any world, right? I do. I don't get it. The next change, EX Shield has 12 frames of recovery instead of 35. Now, why? I mean, 12 frames is punishable. Like, you can get a lot of damage out of almost everyone's 10 frames combo starters, okay? And it's not like you can't react to it. The 35 frames of a big fucking shield in front of Sub-Zero, if you can't react to that, just put the fucking controller down. And on top of that, he can dash cancel out of the EX version. Now, people were saying you should have a dash cancel in the beginning when the game first came out, and people were like saying, no, that would be fucking broken. For the regular version, I actually agree with that. That would be a little ridiculous if you could dash cancel out of it. But if I've already spent the meter, I mean, let me get my money's worth, you know? Let's make it a little safer at least. And if I commit to all 35 frames, and remember, and just to clarify, you can only dash cancel out of the active frames. So once you're in those 12 frames of recovery, you're stuck. You are committed to that, you know, that animation. You know? So I think that's absolutely fair. If you spend the meter, in theory, losing your break, or at the very least your X-ray, I think that's absolutely fair. Anyone disagree? Anyone think that's unreasonable?
No, it makes sense to me.
Okay, well now we're about to get controversial, guys. Regular ice armor will take 8% less damage from normals and chain combos, but special moves will do regular damage.
No way. Nope. Nope. Nope.
I have something to say to you, Cyborg.
Temps buff number 9. Ice clone expands gradually around screen after created. Freeze effect is unblockable. First punch shatters instant brutality.
Buff number 37. Icefall has 150.
Shadowloo's idea I would allow if there's a stage interactable in one stage that's a bucket of water that instantly kills him.
I would not be against that. I would actually laugh so hard. That would be genius, and only on Unbreakable, because if you throw it at the shield, I mean, we know how it happens afterwards, so naturally.
Buff 36. Freeze instantly reduces opponent's health to 1. Because there is no reason you just shouldn't snap a bitch's neck if they're frozen paralyzed.
Because why not?
Buff 501. It gets really cold, and the opponent either puts on a jacket or they start shivering.
Yeah, if you bait out an ice
always
shield,
has
your console just
Reptile's
breaks.
nimble status active. Because it's cold around you, it makes you slow.
Okay, so some people, this is where people are going to be like, no, that's crazy. Here's where I put things in perspective. Listen, if you do an EX ice armor, without scaling, let's say it's just one hit, you get about a 33% damage reduction. 8% is not bad. You just get something, you get a passive defensive option. It's not going to break anything. If I do 100% combo on a normal ice armored Sub-Zero, I will do 92% damage. This is not horrible. And special moves will still do the same amount of damage. So I don't think this is a big deal. I don't think this would break anything. But yeah, so that it would give me more of a reason to use regular ice armor, because right now there's only 2 reasons to use it. A, to reduce chip, however useful that is in this game. And B is you can do a link. You can do back 1-2 regular ice armor into another back 1-2 for a combo, which is actually pretty good. The execution level on it is probably one of the highest in the game. I don't know if there's any links harder than this, not that I'm aware of. Kung Lao might have one, but it is an incredibly hard link, at least by Mortal Kombat standards. But I like that. I like the idea that there's cool shit in the game that takes high execution, but it is a very, very tight link. But other than that, those are the 2 uses. That's all you can really do with regular ice armor right now. For the next buff, give EX Ice Armor an additional 5 seconds of armor. Just add 5 seconds onto it. If you spend the meter, you get an additional 5 seconds on the time limit you have already. Thoughts? Is this going to break the character? Is this going to make the character unbelievably ridiculous?
No clue what you're talking about, so...
Exactly.
I would have to see it in action, but I don't think it's that big a deal.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it would be that horrible.
I do think like ice armor is pretty much fucking useless right now. It needs something.
Yeah, it's useless in terms of utility. It doesn't hurt him. if you use ice combo, or I'm sorry, ice armor in the middle of a combo for a Link, it's just okay. But it's so negligible in how much it helps you that it's really only good for a Link right now, in my opinion. And finally, again, this is going to be controversial. During EX Ice Armor, startup on Ice Ball will be 19 frames instead of 31, but will still be negative 18 on block. So you can punish it, but here's the idea. Sub-Zero can now zone. You wanted to make a defensive character in NetherRealm Studios? Well, this is how you do it. If he goes full screen, he can now actually throw fireballs and win trades. That wasn't really possible before.
Nope.
For 31 frames, you're not winning a whole lot of trades with Sub-Zero. You just aren't. So now he has a reason to turtle. Oh, and chip damage. You get chip damage for it now, too.
I disagree with this.
I disagree with that one.
No.
Hit me, guys. What do you got?
No, I just... By default, if Sub-Zero is just throwing out full screen freezes, he deserves to eat what he's getting and not have the ability to walk in for free and then still take the damage from them after he's had his face slapped. I'm just against that.
Well,
I've never thought that freezes should guarantee damage from full screen after being hit.
Well,
God, no.
here's my thing: is it already does. Like when I face Temp and I hit him with a fan from across screen at the same time that he hits me with the freeze ball, he still has just enough time to get across screen and then do a full combo on me. So I don't know.
How often does that happen?
It happens all the time. It happens all the time.
Actually, this exact scenario happened.
All
this
the
exact
time.
scenario happened in our Sub-Melina matches last week, and I remember this happened a few times, and I was able to block by the time he got across the screen. I don't know. Maybe Katana's just got like way more recovery or what. I have no idea.
Maybe. I just know there's been plenty of times where I've hit you with a fan at the same time you hit me with a freeze ball, and you still make it to me in time to do a full combo before I can block.
Tell me. Use your amazing rushdown skills to take me down.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. You're asking for even more time to get across screen when you already have enough time to get across screen. No. You just have to hurry.
But the ball will never trade. It will only trade if you commit to something you're not supposed to commit. If you play the zoning game tightly, you will never trade with an ice ball. I mean, let's talk about this. How many fans have you hit me with versus how many ice ball full screen that I've hit you with?
I throw more fans. I throw way more fans than you throw ice balls, though.
That's because it's 31 frame startup.
Okay, and if you cut that in almost half, then I'm SOL absolutely every single time on zoning.
Rush down. You have great rush down tools. You can rush down now. Again, he's a defensive character, but right now he gives you no reason to not play offense. There's no reason not to rush down Unbreakable. So, I don't think this is going to break anything. But that's why I brought you guys here, so I can run it by you guys.
I don't know.
I'm biased.
I would say maybe from, what was it, 31? 32?
31 frames to, it's going to be 19 frames, my bad. 19.
Yeah, that might be a little much, but I mean, if it's just Unbreakable, and it's just while you have the ice armor, was it the EX armor?
Yes, and that's a good point. I have to spend meter to get this. This is not default. So this only applies if I have, let's say, I don't know, I think it's like 10 seconds right now, 15 seconds of armor with my buff. So in theory, you could just low profile all of my ice balls and you won't even have to take chip. You could just wait me out. So in a way, I still have to play rushdown. The only thing this is going to help me with is it's going to let me sit on a life lead better. You can still outweight the armor. So I think you guys could all just shut up.
I just don't. You're talking to the guy that doesn't think. That's the absolute. Holy shit! That was loud. Stupid. Sorry, that's gonna come through the podcast. I gotta make a note of that real quick. Okay, 58 minutes 40 something seconds. There's like a loud Windows update noise that just blasted through my speakers. Anyways, you're talking to the guy that's like, I don't believe that you should just be able to, if I hit you with something and you hit me with something across screen and we both hit each other at the same time, I don't think I should hit you for 8% damage and then you should turn around and hit me for 35. We both made a mistake and opened ourselves up. We both are punished for it, but I'm doing 8 at max from that one fan, and you're doing like 35% from your max with your full combo that you're getting on me. And if you can already do that to me across screen, I don't think you need even more time to mosey your way over there to get your 35% combo. That's just not something I will ever agree with. I said it about the smoke bombs, I'll say it about his freeze, I'll say it about anything like that. And those are the kind of trades that I just don't believe in. Like Scorpion Spear doesn't work that way. If I throw a fan and Scorpion hits me with the spear and we both hit each other at the same time, they cancel each other out to where we both take the damage from being hit by it, but nobody's getting a combo off of it. Same thing with any fireballs or if I throw a fan and Razor is playing Lou and he throws a fireball, we're both getting like 8% damage, but nobody's getting fucking 35% combo off of that full screen. Like if you're right next to me, that's one thing, but if I'm across the screen, you should not be able to have even more time when you already can. That's kind of my problem right now. Is it's not like you're asking for just that little small window of chance. You already have that small window of chance. You want that window to be bigger, and it's like, I don't feel like me throwing a fan across screen at the same time you throw a freeze ball, I should be getting a 35% combo any more than you should be from my fan. Because my her fan lift doesn't work like that. If you hit me with something to knock me down, that fan lift is over like that, comparatively speaking to an ice ball. That's my perspective. I'm not saying you're right or wrong. That's my opinion. I hate being 35% comboed off of when we traded. We literally trade 100%.
3 things, though. First of all, this is unbreakable. So the maximum amount of damage I would get is probably, because you're frozen now, so it's going to scale. Probably 23 to 26% is the max amount of damage I'll get. I probably won't get more than that. The second thing is, this is already in the game, guys. This is not a what if. Ermac already has this with Soul Ball, which leads into a full combo that does way more damage, and Ermac is not broken.
2 wrongs don't make a right, in my opinion.
I wouldn't say Ermac is broken, but he's goddamn annoying to fight against.
But he's probably not top 10. I mean, I don't know what the new buffs are going to show. I don't know what he's going to be now. But Ermac is not taking out any Yomi guys right now. That might not be true. Maybe Big D might have taken someone out, but... So this is already in the game. This has been tried and tested, This is 19 frames. His is 17. So that's not broken. The third thing is, if you have a life lead... My throat's going out all Razor style right now. If you have a life lead, I'm pretty sure you can low profile the ice ball. So you duck, don't hold block, and any ice ball I throw out is going to be whiffed. You're not going to take any chip, because remember, it does do chip now. And you just watch me waste my meter. At that point, I will have to rush you down. And remember, if I throw an ice ball, it's the same speed, so you can still jump it and, in theory, go for free pressure. Because on hit, I'm negative 18, so... Yeah, well, then again, full screen. I don't know how much the rules change, but... So that's where I stand on that. And most characters have decent offensive options if they know that ice ball is coming. So that's my defense of it, but like I said, I wanted all the voices at the table, which is why I brought this up at a Netherkast, and not just the Warrior Shrine, but make no mistake, we're going to continue this on the Warrior Shrine too. So that's all I got for now. Those are all my buffs. Any final thoughts, guys? Any feedback?
No, not really.
I mean, it's unbreakable, so any buff isn't really going to affect my quality of life.
I'm practicing reptile
That hurts,
combos right now.
You know what? What I would have done to make Unbreakable more interesting or viable would have had to been done before the game came out, because I feel like he could use an entire another special move. And I'm not sure what I would have it be. Maybe.
Oh, I know of one. I know exactly what I would give him. On EX Shield, if you don't commit to the parry in the early frames, you can cancel it into a shield charge, all Captain America style. That would have been my special move.
Ah, yeah, the fucking cold shoulder from Deadly Alliance.
Hypercharging Star, man.
That would work.
And I missed the cold shoulder. That was a great move.
It was a lot of fun.
I like the tombstone teleport. That was kind of fun.
And
From
smoke move. He
MK
I liked it when
versus
Smoke
DC.
had it, yes. When Smoke had it, was
It just the only thing I liked about it in MK vs DC was the effects looked really, really cool. Like him just falling backwards and shattering and coming up the other side looked really cool.
Couldn't he make like giant ice boulders too?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Why
really
is that
Make
not
a
bad?
big
Why does
block over
Unbreakable
your
have
head,
that?
like a big square fucking.
Why don't they have the ice shower that comes from the sky back? I don't know.
Yeah, I missed the ice shower from MK3.
Dude, I have ideas for that too. Like, again, if you want to make a good defensive variation, I have a lot of ideas on how they can make that work.
Well, I mean, if you want like a really fun move like that, you would have it be on normal. It would be an ice shower. So if somebody blocks it, it's blocked. But then if you want to enhance it, it would be an ice boulder. So if they're blocking low, then it's an overhead. Would be kind of cool.
That would be a cool little bait and switch where instead of a shower coming down after you shoot your little ice hail up, a giant fucking boulder comes down.
Yeah,
I like that. That's cool.
I think from game to game to game, Sub-Zero has gained and lost more special moves than any other character in the series.
yeah. I mean, it's
Yeah,
possible.
I can't think of any. I can't think of a counter argument to that. It's like the exact opposite of Reptile, who has literally kept Sub-Zero's slide since day one, which is so weird to me.
Well, his feet are slimy.
Yeah.
It's
No,
slippery.
they're extremely slimy. It makes sense. It's perfect.
But no, I have no problem with you wanting that variation to be better. I can completely understand that, and I have no objections to anything other than, like I said, when it comes to trading like that, that to me is one of the most annoying things. That if I hit you at the same time you're like, I guess it would be one thing if I threw a fan, and right before the fan hit you, you threw an ice ball just at that perfect time to where your recovery at the point that the ice ball is still traveling and then it hits me and then you're just about back up to your feet, so you have the time. But if we both get hit at the exact same time, you still have the time to make it over to me. That to me is just like that blows, being comboed that easily like that. But
Well, I think it comes with being a defensive character, like a true defensive character. Like, this game doesn't have a lot of really good defense in it, unfortunately. You know, it'd be cool if someone actually could kind of stay in the corner and have it be a good thing. Like when someone's back to the wall, they actually have really cool options, you know, other than just the generic armor out bullshit that we see all the time. And remember, I played an anti-zoner in MK9.
I know, and I
that's
know
my
how
point.
that goes, and that's exactly where I'm coming from. Other than the Sub-Zero in this game, if I was in MK9, it would have been Liu or Kenshi. If I threw a fireball, or if I did Kenshi's little Telefury thing, all you had to do was throw one smoke bomb, and I fall right into your hands, and you're back on your feet at that point. And there was no like equal trade there, ever. It was every single time. Hit me with a smoke bomb at the same time I'm throwing a projectile, I'm fucked. If I throw a projectile and you do your little shaky thing, and then it does the insta counter, I'm fucked. Like, he was the anti-zoniest of characters. And it wasn't just simple, like the shaky thing, that was like a minor thing. But then when you're getting 40% combos off of it, like, wow.
I just thought of another. Does Cyrax's net? How does that work on a trade? Like, what's the?
He wins the trade pretty
Yeah.
decisively.
That guy stays in there for about 5 seconds.
Yeah, I thought so, because I was trying to think of other characters who have a capture move, and like, for instance, Scorpion can't reel you in and hit him because he's holding the rope.
It's pretty much Cyrax sub. Smoke from MK9 had the same concept.
Ermac.
So yeah, Katana's is like that, but
Yeah,
like I
but-
said, if you hit her, you're not gonna get up in time for the.
Well, the
thing.
fan lift, I mean, you'll recover faster than the other person, I'm pretty sure. I have at least, like, when you hit me with it and I'm fireballing you, I
Right.
still have a few seconds of airtime.
Yeah, I don't think it's definitely not full screen. But then again, the
it's
fan
not-
lift isn't full
the
screen.
fan lift
either.
only goes
Yeah.
to the screen furthest.
True. And then the enhanced fan lift sucks balls. I don't know why that is the way it is. It doesn't hold you longer. It literally doesn't hold you longer. It just, I think it goes further. It might go
Yeah,
full screen. I don't
that
know. And then it pops you up after you would normally be fall. Instead, you're popped up. But that trips me up way more than it would if it would just hold you for an extra couple seconds.
Mm.
But oh well. But yeah,
Well,
it's kind of
Well, thought. I'm looking into something here. How many startup frames does Net have?
Yeah, that's sort of what I was wondering, because the question was, does it pop if you hit Cyrax? And if not, what's the startup?
Hey, Cyrax Boy, guess what? Net has 18 startup frames. That's one less than what I proposed with Sub-Zero. And it trades.
It's in the same boat as Ermac.
Hey, Sub Boy, guess what? I don't play Cyrax.
All right, you know
Hey,
what?
Cyrax Boy.
Enough of my position.
No, that's my point, though. I don't play Cyrax, and my opinion doesn't change, because if I had it my way, that would be taken off Cyrax, too. Just because I play a character doesn't mean, like, oh, I want my character to be so much better than all the other... Like, no, I want all the characters to not be fucking annoying.
I'm just saying I'm on to
had
you.
been balanced
That's
in
all.
MK9.
What's that?
I wish Kenshi had been balanced in MK9.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Well, now he's so balanced that they named him Balance, so...
That's my point, though, is I'm not, like, arguing, like, oh, these characters that I like should be broken as shit. I'm saying have everyone be fucking on an equal playing field. And my idea of equal playing field doesn't mean, oh, this guy's insanely good, so if you fucking throw something, you're fucked if he hits you with the same... Like, no, everyone should... You know, if you get in with a combo, it should be because you got in, not because you throw out a projectile at the same time the other guy did. Whether it's Cyrax, Kenshi, any of those fucking characters does not matter to me. So don't think that character favoritism plays into this at all.
Any of those characters. Not this little fuck, none of you little fucks out there.
I'm just saying I'm on to you. I am
On to
you.
what? I don't even play this game. I don't even play Mortal Kombat. I play fucking Katana every once in a blue moon.
But speaking seriously though, with the damage he gets, I think, because remember Ice Ball scales so much, so I'd like to at least see it tested. Like maybe like have like a fucking just a week of seeing what these buffs do and seeing if it breaks a character or not. I know from a development standpoint that is the least possible feasible thing ever, but I want to give him a chance. This character, he's like I said, he's not really as bad as people say he is. He's just if you do the fun stuff, you get killed. And that's all I gotta say about that.
And also, did you
Dracula
even
has a rough life. I know
did
that.
you even look at like how long the actual move lasts, other than just the startup?
Yeah, let's see.
Because we don't even... You're basing that off of startup, but we don't know how actually long the net versus the freeze ball even lasts.
Well, it's got 101 active frames. That's not important. It has 26 frames on negative. So if you block it full screen, you are negative 26. So in theory, you could probably get some run pressure, possibly a full screen punish. I'm not sure. I'd have to check that out.
What do you mean? You can punish Cyrax if you block it, type of thing?
You might be able to full screen punish.
Well, I
it. I don't
mean-
know how much you can do in 26
I was
frames, but
asking-
it's bad.
I was asking which one lasts more if you actually successfully pull it off. If Cyrax nets somebody from across screen while they hit him with a fan or whatever projectile versus the freeze ball, because you can already make it across the... My problem isn't the startup. My problem is, can you get to the other side and completely fuck that character because you traded with them? I'm
think it's the
asking
same,
which one
actually.
lasts longer.
I actually do think it's the same, to be honest. I've played Cyrax a little bit, and I played Sub a lot, so I didn't notice any discernible difference.
Okay, and then my like I said, my answer would be to nerf Cyrax as not buff Sub-Zeros. Like I said, two wrongs don't make a right. You can make all the comparisons you want. I'm not going to justify it.
Like I said, though, like, if you have the life lead, all you have to do is duck full screen, and my strategy is over. You just watch me waste my meter for the next 15 seconds. You know, if I have the life
made
lead,
you
then...
float towards him.
What's that?
Remember in MK3 when the net made you float towards him?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird, though. I mean, even as a kid, I was like, man, that is really weird. Why does it do that?
I figured he had some sort of, like, I don't know, EMP control over the shit or whatever.
Well,
It was this
standpoint,
energy.
They just did it because Scorpion wasn't in the game, and he was the new Scorpion.
Yeah.
He was going to be Cyber Scorpion in very early stages of development. That would have been so terrible.
That would have been dumb.
I don't think MK4 would have even happened.
You were
Yeah,
gonna-
that would have been it.
You were going to chime in, though, Shadowloo?
No.
No? You weren't going to throw your thoughts down on it?
I've been practicing reptile combos for the last 10 minutes. I decided I need to get good with someone else besides Melina. I almost want to get
Well,
good
I mean, where do you stand on that? If you throw a Psy versus getting frozen, are you cool with being like fucking full on 35% comboed from across?
Why is the Psy not murdered the man? The Psy's in his head.
Okay, well that's neither here nor there. That is.
Oh,
No, it's
yes.
there. It's there in his skull. It's embedded.
I do want to give a shout out to NetherRealm if everyone has said their piece on my
Yes.
amazing buff list.
Actually,
Sure.
speaking of shoutouts, you go
Okay,
on.
no.
I've got a shoutout to make after you're done.
Okay, cool. Well, as everyone knows, I officially stopped maining Shinnok. I still use him as a secondary, but I miss his brutality, Gory Hole, and they gave Gory Hole to Sub-Zero. He now has that brutality, and it's pretty, mostly amazing. One little thing that's kind of but everything else about it's pretty awesome. So it's like Paulo was like, "Hey, we heard you stopped using Shinnok. Here you go." You know, it was very much one of those, they do think of me kind of moments, but even though it's probably nothing to do with me, they probably have no idea who I am. Nonetheless, still really cool. I have Gory Hole with Sub-Zero in all variations, and I love it.
I have one more thing to say before your shout out, Shadowloo, and I even know who you're going to shut out. Shout out. Anyways,
Shut out.
Shut
down.
out. I also want to make it perfectly clear: Triborg is not Cyrax, so this is a moot point. Just gonna point that out there.
Fair. That's absolutely fair.
So when Cyrax enters the game, I still won't take ownership, but anyways, go ahead and shout out that dude. It's the dude that
It is
shared the
Bradley and Michael
skins.
Abbott, yes.
Yeah.
Bradley and Michael Abbott was kind of a share with us his WB Play ID, which I gave a quick check out to. So now I've got those wonderful costumes for Cassie and Jackie I will never ever use. But more importantly, I now have Retro Melina, which I've wanted for quite some freaking time. So thank you, Bradley, my bro.
I really like that helicopter pilot helmet Jackie costume.
It kind of weirds me out. I don't know.
It at least gives her a different look.
I
Like
guess.
I just think
I've
Jackie
seen-
has the worst character design in the game.
I've seen worse, but it's one janky ass huge looking helmet.
you can just
It's like-
drop design off of that, by the way. Just worst character in the game.
Maybe.
Like, you're getting into Mortal Kombat HD remake Smoke Giant Head territory, if you guys remember that thing. I see no one does. It's probably just as well.
I remember the original. I remember the Cabal fatality where he inflates your brain.
Yeah.
That was
No,
cool.
because when they were going to remake Mortal Kombat as MKHD before it became MK Arcade Collection, a bunch of screenshots or just like behind the scenes photos from the motion capture sessions got sent out. This is about a year or two ago. And it's like they forgot what proportion was because the guy in the smoke costume looked really good, except his head was just like 3 times bigger than it should have been. It was as big as a torso. It was just the weirdest damn thing.
I'd kind of like to see that, to be honest with you.
I will find it. I will send it to you in the chat.
And I will kill it.
With fire, hopefully.
Good luck. Alright, anything else to touch upon? Are we good? No more touching?
No, but definitely shout-outs to Mr. Abbott. Definitely appreciate
Yes,
it.
that's very cool of him. And we didn't have to ask him or anything. He just offered it to us, so very, very cool.
Oh yeah, on the subject of I guess I noticed I was on another console the other day, and I noticed that if you log in with one WB ID and it unlocks costumes, and then you log out and log in as a different WB ID, you get to keep the unlocked costumes.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
that's neat.
Yes. Henceforth, the gratitude.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to keep logging on his. That would suck.
Yeah, they just like the fact that you have those costumes now is permanently attached to your game.
Yeah. Very cool indeed. So,
And you know what? I think that's been a thing for a really long time, and NetherRealm does deserve a nod of appreciation for that, because they could have patched that out very easily, but they haven't. They know. There's no way that they do not know. And it's very cool of them, assuming that this stays the same way, to leave that in the game. Because a lot of us don't want to perform X or Y task to get said costume, And I found the mobile game absolutely terrible. So I didn't want to go back in there and get Retro Melina the normal way. So again, thanks to Bradley for that, and thanks to NetherRealm for keeping it this way. Very cool. Bros helping bros. Stay a community. Stay strong.
I certainly agree with you about the mobile app. I like the Injustice one a lot. I did not like the MK one.
The controls just...
I haven't actually played it, but I like the look of WWE Immortals.
Yeah, I've played them all, and Injustice was definitely the best. But maybe that's because it was the first one, so it was kind of my first exposure to it.
Yeah, are the mechanics different, or is it just that
Well,
you're
it's just way more
bored with
expensive.
gameplay?
Like, you got so much more for your labors in Injustice. You don't get shit in this game for your efforts.
Oh, they're nickel and diming you with it.
Yeah,
much worse than
it's kind of
Injustice.
like the Crypt. Yeah, they just made it. They made it a lot harder to obtain things. You gotta get like souls and stuff a lot more often to like the energy or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, they just made it overall take longer, so that way in hopes of people just paying out money to them. I mean, that's what it's there for at the end of the day, is so people will, there's going to be people like us that are like, I'm not going to pay for that. But there's a lot of people that will fork over the money. I mean, Halo 5 is the same thing where you don't have to pay for any of the DLC. You get all the maps for free, all the updates for free, and they've been updating that game every single month since its release. So they've been really good about that. But they do have like the little, if you want to unlock things quicker in the game, you can pay money to get like the random packs of crap. And it's like, I'm not somebody that does that. I'm somebody that just plays the damn game and enjoys it. And whether I have cosmetic, because it's all cosmetic items, it doesn't really matter if you have it or not. But there are people like popular Halo 5 YouTubers. Somebody said he'd spent over $1,000 on them. So that's like crazy to me.
Nice.
Why somebody would pay that. I mean, I'm sure he earns a lot of money off of his YouTube account because he actually has a ton of subscribers. But still, like, even if I did, I would not be using it on that. But some people are into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And more power to them, because if it means my DLCs for free, then sure. I'm not going to hate on that. I don't mind microtransactions as long as they're not like,
As long as you're not the one paying for it.
Well, as long as they don't actually mess with the gameplay. As long as I don't need them to enjoy the game. But anyways.
The requirements for Retro Melina are pretty ridiculous, though, because I got all the other ones as far as I know. That was the only one I didn't get, and I think because the requirement was like really stupid, but...
Yeah.
To comment on Shadowloo's link, that actually does look really funny. It literally looks like he's about to fall over. Like, he's very top-heavy.
Yeah.
As a reminder, I've shared the MKHD smoke screenshot with Temp in our chat.
Yes.
It's absolutely hilarious.
I like that blue, though. That's kind of what I wish he looked like in this game, but... Go on, Cyborg?
Oh, no. I'm just wrapping it up, so unless anybody has anything else to say.
I'm going to learn Reptile. I'm going to learn him good.
All right. On that note, thanks again, and hope you guys enjoyed. Like, subscribe, do all your fun things, and adios, folks. We will see you. We should have a Warrior Shrine coming out within the next week, and then I think next week we have Strip Show, and yada yada, so on and so forth. So, adios, people.
Take it easy. This city deserves, but not the one it needs right now.
It's true.
19 frame startup.
Where's your recovery? Where is it?
Where's my meter?
I can get you from across the screen. You throw your goddamn ice balls.
Stop talking like that. I'm the only one that can talk like this.
No,
Swear
you're
to
not.
me.
I'm the real Batman. I'm not wearing hockey pads.
I've got the raspy voice this podcast deserves.
You went from Batman to The Grudge.
That's what that feels like.
When the Netherkast is ashes, you have my permission to shut the fuck up.
Sub's Ice Ball is 19 frame startup. Yeah.
All right, adios.
That